Europe, the birthplace of Christianity's profound history, home to awe-inspiring cathedrals, and a rich tapestry of religious traditions, now finds itself at a crossroads. Despite centuries of faith shaping its culture, politics, and identity, something is shifting. The majestic bells of these ancient churches are ringing less frequently, and pews are growing emptier by the day. So, why is Christianity fading in Europe? Is it societal evolution, shifting values, or something deeper? Stay tuned as we unravel the complex story behind Europe's declining faith, exploring historical, cultural, and modern influences that have led to this transformation. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more insightful videos about the changing world we live in. To understand the decline, we first need to appreciate Christianity's ascent. After the Roman Emperor Constantine embraced Christianity in the 4th century, Europe became the heart of the Christian world. Over the next millennium, the religion wasn't just a faith, it was a political system, a social structure, and the very fabric of European identity. The Church shaped science, art, and governance, from commissioning masterpieces like Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel to influencing monarchies. However, as history unfolded, cracks began to appear in this once unshakable foundation. The Enlightenment of the 17th and 18th centuries marked a turning point. Philosophers like Voltaire and Rousseau challenged the Church's authority, advocating for reason, science, and secular governance. Revolutions followed, and with them, the separation of church and state. No longer was religion synonymous with power, it became a personal choice, not an obligation. Countries like France became staunchly secular, removing the church from public life. This secularization was contagious, influencing neighboring nations. The seeds of religious decline were sown, but it would take centuries for them to fully sprout. Fast forward to the 21st century, and Europe is unrecognizable compared to its religious heyday. Urbanization, globalization, and technological advancement have redefined values. Today, Europeans prioritize personal freedom, scientific thinking, and individualism over traditional religious practices. Surveys reveal that younger generations identify as spiritual but not religious. While they may believe in a higher power, they reject the institution of the church, viewing it as outdated and restrictive. In countries like the UK, Sweden, and the Netherlands, less than 10% of the population regularly attends church services. Even historically Catholic nations like Italy and Spain are experiencing similar trends. Another major factor is the series of scandals that have rocked the church, from financial corruption to child abuse cases. These revelations have eroded trust in religious institutions, driving many Europeans to disassociate themselves from organized religion altogether. The damage is deep, leaving not just anger but a profound sense of betrayal among followers. Once lost, trust is hard to regain, and for many, the Church's moral authority is now irreparable. Immigration has also played a role in reshaping Europe's religious landscape. Influxes of Muslims, Hindus, and Buddhists have diversified religious expression across the continent. While some might expect this to spark interfaith dialogue, it has also caused tension. Christianity, once dominant, is now one voice among many. This pluralism has shifted the cultural and spiritual focus away from a single narrative, creating a more inclusive yet fragmented religious identity. The digital age has also accelerated Christianity's decline. Social media and online communities expose Europeans to diverse ideologies and philosophies, including atheism and agnosticism. With science providing answers to existential questions, many feel less reliant on religious explanations. The Church's perceived reluctance to adapt to these advancements only widens the gap. So, what does the future look like for Christianity in Europe? Experts suggest that while institutional Christianity may continue to decline, new forms of spirituality could emerge. Online communities and progressive churches are already experimenting with ways to stay relevant in a rapidly changing world. Some argue that crises, be they economic, social, or existential, could spark a revival, as history has shown. But for now, Christianity in Europe faces an uphill battle, balancing tradition with modernity. Christianity's fading presence in Europe is more than a religious story, it's a cultural shift, a redefinition of identity in a globalized, secular world. While the future is uncertain, one thing is clear: the spirit of questioning, learning, and evolving continues to shape Europe, just as it always has. If you found this deep dive into Europe's changing religious landscape fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join us next time as we explore more stories that shape our world.